Hello, Mickey Spivey, M-I-C-K-E-Y, S-P-I-V-E-Y. Good afternoon. I am an emergency physician that's mostly retired. I've been involved with EMS, fire and rescue for many, many years in our area in pre-hospital care. I'm here today because I believe with all my heart that the plan to downgrade Houston Valley's Level 1 and Bristol Regional's Level 2 trauma centers to Level 3 will significantly disadvantage the majority of the people in the Ballard service area. There are many reasons for this, and many of these have been touched on. But let's just look at capability. There's a vast difference between the capability of a Level 1 trauma center or a Level 2 trauma center and that's provided by a Level 3. Likewise, the requirements of a Level 1 or a Level 2 trauma center is far greater than that of a Level 3. And we've talked about before that a Level 1 requires 28 different specialties to be available 24/7, 365. 365 is important, okay? A Level 2, which is very similar, requires 24 different specialties to be available 24/7, 365. A Level 3, however, only requires 4 specialties to be available 24/7, 365. Ladies and gentlemen, the people in all the Tri-Cities from Johnson City, Kingsport, and Bristol have all enjoyed having all these specialties available for the last 30 years. And one of those reasons are because of the requirements of the Level 1s and Level 2 trauma centers in this region. I am greatly concerned that by downgrading these hospitals in Bristol and Kingsport to Level 3 trauma centers with only 4 specialties required to be available, that many of these specialties that we have today will no longer be available 24/7, 365, and that, ladies and gentlemen, has a great potential to significantly impact the quality of care, not only to trauma patients, but also to medical patients in the entire area. And this is so important to the great majority of those of us in the Ballard service area. Virginia has trauma triage destination guidelines similar to Tennessee. Virginia basically states that certain patients with certain injuries or certain vital signs at the scene are to be directed to the closest Level 1 or Level 2 trauma center. Historically, that has been Houston Valley or it has been Bristol Regional Hospital. Now with a downgrade to Level 3, those patients will no longer be able to go to Houston Valley or Bristol because they don't meet that criteria. Instead, they will now have to be transported to either Johnson City or maybe to Pikeville, Kentucky, to be the closest Level 1 or Level 2 trauma center. Guys, that significantly disadvantages these people. And then Virginia also has a requirement that states that if this transport is greater than 15 minutes, you need to airlift these patients. If the Virginia State Police helicopter, which is a free service, is not available, and another helicopter has to provide that transport, that charge that patient is going to be absolutely huge. And many of these people are already living in depressed economic situations. This further disadvantages these people. One thing that's very important to understand is that the COPA did not pre-approve the consolidation of trauma system. It approved only the consolidation of the Level 1 trauma centers. It did not mention downgrading of Bristol Regional to a Level 3, nor did it mention what should become of Houston Valley if it was not chosen as the Level 1. This is important to remember. And last but not least, I think that it's the best thing that we could possibly do is to try to make sure that Bristol Regional and Houston Valley are maintained at least as a Level 2 trauma center. This would significantly reduce the disadvantages to all of these people in the area, but most importantly of all, it would help make sure that everyone in this Ballard service area has their best chance of survival if they're faced with a major medical or traumatic event, and that's what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen. They deserve no less. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Doctor.